In this video, we'll talk a little more about validation rules and how you're supposed to test them, and what things to keep an eye out and what issues you could potentially run into. So currently, if we go into our student object and if we check validation rules, we have two rules. Birth date should be at least 18 years old, and contact information, meaning the phone or the email address on the student object, should be filled out. At least one of those fields should have a value. Now, if we go back, if we try to create a student, the basic rule of testing would be first. So if we have multiple validation rules, we have to test it accordingly. So first, let me just give a name. So I'm simply going to say Farah. And now we have two validation rules, one which is on birth date and the other which is on phone and email. So if I only enter, let's say if I enter a wrong birth date, which is less than 18 years of age, my validation for birth date should throw an error, right? However, sometimes the issue could be that instead of this error, Salesforce would throw the other validation error, which is that your phone and email is empty, and make sure that you fill these out. So while I'm testing, I might get an error for a different validation rule instead of the one that I'm actually intending to test. So for that, you have to test in a little smart way. For example, I will put in a birth date in the future over here. So I should get an error, of course, but I will also enter a phone number just to make sure that this validation rule, the contact information validation rule, is satisfied. So any error that I get should only be related to my birth date one. Now if I try to hit save, I get an error for birth date, that age should be greater than 18 years, which is perfect. Now I'll try to change the age to greater than 18 years. So I'll change the birth date and I'll remove these. Now I want to make sure that if I get an error, it's not related to my birth date. So I enter a birth date which I know is greater than 18 years, and then I'll test whether I'm getting an error here or not. So now if I try to hit save, Salesforce should tell me that, hey, you need to have at least a phone or an email. There we go. Please enter the phone or an email. So that's perfect. It's working. Now let's enter an email address. And both validations are basically now satisfied. So our birth date is correct. We've entered one of this information as well. So Salesforce should not stop us from saving this record. So let's give it a try. Save. There we go. It worked. So that's how you're supposed to basically test a validation. If you have multiple validation rules on the same object, you have to be a little smart about it and make sure that you're testing each scenario separately. So make sure, create your record while satisfying all the other validation requirements except for one, and then see if that one error pops up, and then do it for the other rules. Now, another thing that you need to be very careful about is, so if I go back to the students, and so I can see I have a lot of students. Some of these were created before I had created my validation. For example, if I were to go into Sam White. Now, Sam White was created before I had activated those validation rules. And so Sam White's birth date, as you can see, is in 2025, which is obviously in the future. So now, obviously, based on our new validation rules, the birth date needs to be at least 18 years old. So this is wrong, right? This birth date is wrong, of course. Now, a problem that you may run into is any records that were created before your validation, right? Sam doesn't have phone or email either. So it's basically breaking the rules of both our validations on the student. Now, if we have a process or an automation in the back end, which is supposed to update the semester number after every 4 months, right? If we have an automation which automatically updates the semester number every 4 months, because Sam is, let's say, started in his first semester. Now, 4 months later, we want to automatically update the semester number two, semester number 2, and then 4 months later, semester number 3. So we can create an automation in Salesforce to do that. However, now if that automation tries to update the semester number on its own to, let's say, number 3, and if it tries to save it, Salesforce will not let it save. So you'll get two errors that, hey, your birth date is in the future, it should be 18 years at least, and you need to have your phone or an email. So now this problem will happen with all students that were created before your validation and that do not meet the validation rule criteria. So now you have to handle these, right? First, generally it is recommended that when you create your validation, you fix all your existing data right away. So you do like a data cleanup and do a data update to make sure your validation rule is applied to all your existing data. If not that, then you have to play with your validation rule a little bit. You have to add somewhere in your formula just to make sure that if I'm creating the validation on 1st January 2025, so I will add in my rule that if the data's created date is before 1st January 2025, we do not need to throw an error. So you have to basically design a rule in certain ways to make sure that old data does not suffer because you added new validations. Especially your automations can really break and cause issues within the system if the validation rule does not let your automation change the things that it's supposed to change. So that's also something that you generally have to be careful about. And recommended way is to make sure that if you're creating a validation rule, so if you created the birth date validation rule, the first thing now you need to do is check all your existing data. And if you find any data which is not meeting your birth date validation requirement, you update that data immediately. That's how it's recommended to ensure your validation rules work proactively and that your validation rules do not hinder users from changing the data later by saying, let's say if a user opens this up and they want to change anything at this point, Salesforce will not let them change. For example, they want to add accounting as a course. Salesforce will not let them save it saying that, hey, change the birth date, add a phone and an email. Now that user will be confused because the user doesn't know what the birth date is. They don't know what the phone number or the email is. So that will hinder the user from actually changing data that is important. Because for Sam White, we need to add the course accounting. It's important because now he's opted for that course. So it needs to be reflected here so that we can, add it to his fee or something. But now the user is unable to save it. So how would the user enter this course change? Because it's important. So the user will obviously be frustrated that I don't know what the birth date is. How am I supposed to change it? I don't know the phone or an email. So either they're going to contact the Salesforce admin or they will just enter like a dummy birth date, which is 18 years old, and just a random phone number or an email just to make sure that they're able to save this record, which is obviously not the right way. Which is why we have to be very careful with creating validations on how it's supposed to apply to existing data. Thank you.